Everybody, welcome to our third UK Red Nexus webinar. And this time we're talking about how to grow your business through social media. So let me get started. So first of all, a little bit about me. I am Vicky. I'm the co-owner of Tracks and Cream Glamping. We just started our 9th season running a glamping site, and I've got about 16 years of hospitality experience ranging from hotels to glamping. I'm also one of the directors on the board of the Glamping Industry Trade Association, where I'm the social media, PR and public affairs lead. And I'm also the UK ambassador for ResNexus. And I just want to tell you a little bit about ResNexus if you don't already know. So ResNexus entered the hospitality industry in around 2004, and our award-winning software is one of the highest rated property management softwares in the US. ResNexus was one of the first cloud-based property management softwares on the market, and we focus on providing the best online guest experience paired with powerful back-office tools and management for camping, glamping, boutique stays, holiday lets, and unique stay properties. But I'm here to talk to you about social media. I'm really happy to talk about this subject because I feel like we as a business are a real typical example of what most other hospitality businesses face when it comes to social media. We don't have a crazy amount of followers, we've never gone viral, but we do have a lot of loyal followers who engage and are happy to shout about our business for us. With that said, we have been using social media for our glamping site for the last 9 years to generate 90% of our bookings direct. And we've experimented with a lot of different types of content creation, and we explored all the platforms and have come up with a social media strategy that has kept our customers coming back and telling all their friends. So I'm just going to quickly go over what we're going to cover in this session. So I'm going to briefly tell you about our social media story and what we've learned. Then I'm going to go through the guide to the different platforms and which ones are right for you and why everyone should be on at least one platform, why it's a bit like playing the lottery. We're going to talk about the importance of knowing your ideal customer, then paid for versus organic and how you can get the best results, using influencers and user-generated content, the useful tech tools and the rise of WhatsApp as a social media presence, and how to have confidence on camera even when you don't feel it. So let's start with our social media story. So my husband Brian and I, our social media story is pretty typical of most hospitality sites. Back in 2015, pretty much everyone was on Facebook. So we set up a Facebook account for Tracks and Cream, and then I had my own personal Instagram, which I ended up switching over because I had some friends following me already. So it was a great way to get started. For the whole time I've been running the glamping site, the majority of our direct bookings have come through word of mouth, Facebook, Instagram, social media in general. I was pretty happy using Facebook and Instagram. I completely understood them. I enjoyed posting, and we very gradually, organically grew our followers. Then along came TikTok, and to be honest, I was a bit apprehensive and I refused to use it for a long time and only relented in 2022. I didn't really want to like TikTok, and I had kind of heard some bad things about it when it first came out, but now I really wish I'd got on TikTok sooner because the potential to grow your audience is huge. So many crazy things happen when you run a glamping site that I really felt like we should document the journey. So in 2019, my husband bought me a GoPro for Christmas, and we started a YouTube channel in the January of 2020 and committed to uploading a new video every week. Our following grew faster than it had on any other platform, and we suddenly had this audience of glamping site owners and aspiring owners following us and asking us heaps of questions, which then dictated the type of content that we started putting out there. We became the go-to channel in the UK for all things glamping related, and the business expanded in a new direction. And I think it was that consistency of kind of committing to uploading every single week that really helped our channel grow. We still vlog now about what happens on the glamping site. We've done about 450 videos now on YouTube. But we also go and visit other inspiring glamping sites and share their story. So it's also enabled us to speak at events internationally and become UK ambassadors for ResNexus. So let's talk about the different platforms and which ones you should use. So we've got the main ones here. So we've got Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Twitter, well, X, Pinterest, TikTok, LinkedIn, Blue Sky, Threads, and WhatsApp. So I'm going to give you a super quick rundown of how I use these platforms for my business. So Facebook, we all know Facebook is popular amongst 18 to 49-year-olds, strong engagement from 50 plus users, and slightly more female heavy. I try to post at least once a week on my business page, but I mainly use this for groups. So there are heaps of groups related to accommodation, and I use a UK glamping group where customers can post where they want to go and stay, and hosts can reply if they have availability. I also use non-accommodation groups, like I'm in this massive one called the Family Lowdown Tips and Ideas. It's like over 1 million people in it. And people are quite often saying, I really want to go away, or I'm looking for somewhere that's, got something really unique and unusual to take my kids to. So I'll keep an eye on those posts, and then I'll go in there and I'll tag our site. So that's been really useful. Actually, ResNexus and I have set up a group specifically for owners of outdoor hospitality businesses to create a community and ask related questions. So please feel free to join that group if you would like to. So right, back to Instagram now. So Instagram's dominated by the 18 to 34-year-olds, particularly millennials and Gen Z, skew slightly female. So just get all your beautiful professional photos and drone photography up on Instagram. Create regular reels, post a few behind the scenes stories to engage your audience. It's great for engaging new followers. And I have put hashtags on this presentation, but actually, since I've done this presentation, things have changed slightly, and Instagram aren't putting so much stock in hashtags anymore. They're actually looking at the content that you're typing in your description. So whenever you do a reel or do a post, make sure that your description is really beefy. So it's got lots of keywords in it and lots of things that people might search for. Because people do search on the explore page, and also the algorithm is always looking at what people are looking at and trying to find similar content to keep them on the platform. So you want to be in your description making it really beefy with all those keywords that relate to your particular hospitality business. So I've taken our professional photos and I've created a post for each dome, and you can put this in your highlights as well for your story so that people can see, like, they can do one for each dome, and I can say what they sleep. And then one of our ResNexus users is a Secret Garden Glamping, and you can see how they've kind of curated their grid to make it all very professional and very themed in with their branding. Now let's go on to Threads. So Threads is very similar to Instagram, dominated by your 25 to 34-year-olds, millennials, Gen Z, skew slightly female. It was the fastest growing social media platform of all time. It took the platform less than 5 days to reach 100 million signups. And that is mainly because you could jump straight over from Instagram, linking your account and reposting. At the time, people were wanting a Twitter alternative, but it's basically a text form extension of Instagram. And you can just get Instagram to automatically repost to Threads without doing anything. So that's what I've set up. I've got our Instagram account and it automatically pushes it out to Threads, just to catch those people that prefer Threads to Instagram. Let's talk about YouTube. So YouTube has such a broad reach right from Gen Z baby boomers, Gen Alpha even now. It is the second largest search engine. So we've got like virtual tours on, behind the scenes videos. So that's a good one, I think, for any hospitality business. They can easily do, or any business in fact, they can easily do a tour of the property, whatever it is, and they can do some behind the scenes videos of what life is like running that particular business. X, formerly known as Twitter, 18 to 49-year-olds, skewing older professionals. This is a really useful platform for engaging PR, commenting on current affairs that affect your industry. It is down about 30 million worldwide users, but advertisers are way up since the drama shifted over the election, because now it's obviously run by Elon. So people are still using X, and people are using it more to engage with those kind of PR opportunities. TikTok is obviously your younger generation. It says 16, but that's because I'm sure, we're talking 11, 12-year-olds on it, aren't they, for TikTok? But there is a growing adoption among millennials, including myself. TikTok does have huge reach and potential. So videos can go viral really easily, or you could be stuck at 600 followers like me. I have a bit of a love-hate relationship with TikTok, but I know it has huge potential if you give it the right content. It is a great testing platform, so I put a few videos, like make lots of different content on TikTok, and then the one that gets the most views is what I'll put on Instagram. But I would say TikTok, you can post every single day. You can post multiple times a day, and it doesn't affect, like it's not detrimental to your account. It just wants content, and the more you post on it, the more likely you are to get a video that goes crazy. LinkedIn. So this is used by hospitality businesses. It's obviously mostly used by professionals for networking, job hunting, B2B marketing, and thought leadership. We are seeing site owners use it now to show their properties, but also to put themselves as thought leaders, specific for their industry. So if you're on there professionally, there's no harm in putting yourself, your own business profile on there of your particular, like putting Tracks and Cream on LinkedIn, just because then it's another way of reaching out to that audience. Pinterest, loads of people use Pinterest. It's quite heavily female skewed, but male usage is growing. But how many times have you done a Google image search and clicked on a photo and it's taken you to Pinterest? So if you've got beautiful professional photos, then pop them on a Pinterest profile and add descriptions to them with keywords so that you can then get found on Google that way. So WhatsApp is in fact classed as a social media. How many times do you get forwarded a video, news article, or website from a friend? It's just another way of being social with different groups of people. So I'm not suggesting that you list on every single one of these platforms, as no one would actually have any time to do any work. Instead, choose 2 or 3 that you really enjoy and feel comfortable using. If you use Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok, then you can create one vertical video that can be posted on all 4 platforms. If you keep it under a minute, you won't have to do any editing for any of them. So, but in my opinion, no matter what your business is, everyone should have a Meta presence. Meta owns Facebook, Instagram, Threads, and WhatsApp. Even if you don't put anything on there, at the very least, have a Facebook holding page for your business with basic information and some photos. Because you can put your website, you can put links there, you can put your phone number, you can put your Google Maps, like so people can find you. So, because it will come up in a Google search. So you've seen that WhatsApp is in fact classed as a social media, which is strange as it just felt like it just replaced SMS text messaging. And it's obviously great for asking your other half what you want for dinner, but think about how many groups you're in and how many of those groups may have people outside your contact list. How many times have you been recommended something to watch or buy on WhatsApp, and how many times has someone shared a viral video on there? When you're on Facebook or even YouTube and you hit the share button, WhatsApp will be there allowing all this content to be shared. And because people in your WhatsApp groups are probably trusted by others in that group, if they share something, the rest of the group are more likely to watch it or buy it. I've done posts before about encouraging people to fire up the WhatsApp group chat to book their group holiday. It all goes hand in hand with ensuring that word of mouth is your top driving source for direct bookings. Businesses like ours are using WhatsApp more and more to communicate with customers and with WhatsApp Business. And it's fast becoming a replacement for guest emails. ResNexus are working on getting the UK WhatsApp. So at the moment in the US, ResNexus have text messaging, and we're working on it for the UK. So that hopefully should be coming end of this year, which will be brilliant because it means we can WhatsApp out to the whole of our site if we need to tell everybody on site something specific, or we can do our guest messaging, or the same as we would do email marketing. We can all do that through WhatsApp. So watch this space, that is coming. I'm really excited about it. WhatsApp Business is something I've been exploring as well. What I found was you need 2 mobile numbers. So if you have a personal WhatsApp, that's great. You can also have WhatsApp for business, but you can't switch between them very easily. You have to log in and log out, which is really annoying. So I'm also looking into different ways of getting a second line. There's things like called Air Landline, where you can pay a monthly fee to have a second line, which then will enable you to have WhatsApp Business as a separate. But the benefits are going to be great because you can do like automatic replies, you can do specific welcome messages to greet customers when they first contact you. You can do away messages. You can customize groups of different people, so like new customers or past guests, do bulk messaging. So WhatsApp is going to be really, really useful, I think, to all hospitality businesses in the future, or is now. So let's talk about social media as a lottery. So have you ever heard the phrase, you've got to be in it to win it? Well, if you don't play the social media game, you can't possibly ever win at it. So whenever I post a video on TikTok or YouTube Shorts, I actually feel like I'm playing the lottery. Will it get picked up by the algorithm, or will it get stuck at a couple of hundred views? But opposite to the actual world of gambling, the more you play or post, the more likely you are to win or get your business seen by a bigger audience. So let's talk about ways you can increase your lottery odds. So in the world of vertical video, so Meta Reels, TikToks, YouTube Shorts, there are things you can do to help the algorithm and increase your chances of a win. So first of all is find the trending audio. So on Instagram, you can see the audio that has an upwards, like kind of lightning bolt arrow, or you can click on the trending tab. You can also, if you're going through Reels and you like a particular piece of audio, you can save it, and then you can use it for yourself. From that audio, they sometimes have templates you can use as well, which makes making Reels much easier. I like to create a video that's less than 5 seconds. Because the platforms look at your video retention time, and if someone's watched 90% of your video, or they've watched it more than once through, then the platforms are going to think that that's great content and then send it out to more people. As most people that are on the scroll watch videos for about 3 seconds before they scroll on. So the key is to capture the audience attention in that first 3 seconds and make them watch the whole of the video. Then the third one is to tell a story. So if your video has a hook and then some jeopardy and then a wonderful outcome, people will watch the whole thing. But the main thing is to post something, because obviously posting nothing definitely won't get you any engagement. So here's an example of a 4-second video, and you can see how easy it is for people just to watch it on loop without really realizing, because the audio loops. In marketing, we talk a lot about knowing your ideal customer and making sure that your consistent messaging aligns to them. Discovering your ideal guest avatar is really important exercise within your social media marketing too, as you want your messaging to be aligned across your whole marketing strategy. So how many of you have actually sat down and wrote a detailed profile of your ideal guest? You might have several types in different demographics, but for the purpose of the exercise, I just want you to pick one type, and we're going to get really specific. So on the screen, I have the details of my ideal guest. You see how I've really niched down. I know her name's Rachel. She's 38. She's married to Tom. They're from Bristol with 2 children aged 6 and 8. She's my ideal customer. I know her husband's job and her job. I know her interests include like country walks. She's a National Trust member. She likes an outdoor lifestyle. I also know her pain points. So I know that her husband and children want to go camping, but Rachel hates the thought of camping. She could potentially try glamping, but it would need to have great facilities to persuade her and make the family really happy. So once you know these things, you can solve a problem for that customer. So I would, if you can after this webinar, take time, just write down who your ideal customer is, and don't forget to be as detailed as possible, like this specific. So how does this help us with social media? So say you have 3 different perfect guests. They'll all hang out on different social media platforms. So I know that my guest avatar, Rachel, hangs out on Instagram. So I'm going to write my Instagram bio for her. You only get 150 characters on Instagram, including spaces and special characters, so you need to use it wisely. So I've got in there that the site is family friendly, and I'm letting her imagine herself relaxing in a hammock with her kids while they enjoy freedom. So you may have another avatar that's slightly older and uses Facebook, maybe. You would really want to then tailor your post on Facebook slightly differently. So it's not really that great now to do the same post on every single platform. You want to try and mix it up a bit. So maybe I do put my older bird watching couples. I do all that messaging on Facebook, and my family messaging possibly on Instagram. And then if your third avatar is a younger couple who enjoy hiking, then you might want to turn to TikTok and tailor your videos to that ideal guest with suggestions of places to hike, as well as great videos of your accommodation. So we all know that organic growth and engagement is the holy grail of social media. And we're incredibly lucky to have the ability to advertise our businesses on the internet, and that we have the opportunity at all to use social media. Imagine the marketing budget that we would have needed 30 years ago to reach the amount of potential customers you can reach with one TikTok video. But at the end of the day, Meta is a business, and they ideally want you to pay to get your business in front of a bigger audience. Meta ads could indeed be their own full presentation, but I'm going to touch on some tips for using paid ads. So the first is the ability to really niche your audience. So in this example, I could choose to target women between the ages of 25 and 55 who love the outdoors and are parents of children between certain ages. So I've put down all children basically up to 12. How incredible is it that we can target our audience that specifically? It suggests that with this audience and with a spend of around £10 a day, I could reach between 1,500 and 4,300 people. So I always assume it will be the lower figure, and then anything else is a bonus. Secondly, there are different campaigns and calls to action that you can use, including getting people to like your page, visit your website, or join a mailing list. Marketing professionals suggest spending around £500 a month on targeted Meta ads. However, for most of us, this is completely unachievable. That's pretty much our entire year's marketing budget. We have seen people get results for a much smaller spend, and you do get better results than if you were to do smaller spending on Google ads. I would say don't really bother spending money on boosting a post. It just doesn't get the same results as if you do a full ad campaign. If you consider doing a paid ad on Meta, then definitely watch some how-to videos on YouTube, or consider asking a professional to get involved if you're thinking of a bigger ad spend. It's very easy to waste hundreds of pounds if you aren't sure what you're doing. So I touched on it a little bit before, but what are some of the other ways of increasing your organic reach? I've got some ideas for you. So you can partner with a bigger brand. So if you go to a bigger brand with more followers and offer them a one-night stay to give away to their audience, that can be a really useful tool. So in Instagram, you can create a post and invite a collaborator, meaning that both brands can be seen by both audiences, which increases everybody's organic reach. Create shareable and relatable content. Focus on high quality visuals, storytelling, and emotional appeal to make your content share worthy. Content that educates, entertains, or inspires is more likely to be shared, expanding your reach organically. Don't forget to engage with your audience. Respond to the comments, participate in discussions, and proactively engage with followers. Don't post and then ghost. Social platforms reward accounts that foster genuine interactions by boosting their content visibility. Also, spend some time commenting on other people's posts and engaging generally in the platform. The other thing you could do is run a competition for a free stay. So you can get followers to like and tag someone and share it in order to enter. So So I've got an example here of one of my friends who was running a competition a little while ago. But like if you check out the numbers of comments and shares on her post, like 5,000 odd comments. I know it ended up being much higher than that when she finished it. 1,300 shares. I mean, that is amazing reach from a 2-night giveaway. They run competitions quite often. They've, up to sort of 15,000 followers on their Instagram now, I think. And then the last one leads me on nicely to my next topic of using influencers to increase your following. So I don't know about you, but some of you may have been invited by, and you may have invited an influencer to stay in exchange for some content. Some of you may have also been approached by an influencer who'd like a free stay in exchange for content. We get approached quite a lot. We'll get messages in our DMs to say, "Hi, would you be up for a complimentary stay in exchange for some content?" So influencer marketing is huge and it doesn't look to be going anywhere anytime soon. So it's good to look at all these different people that come through and just check them out and see if it's something you could work with. We have got a bit of a love-hate relationship with influencers. If you get the right one, they can be absolute gold for your business. But if you get the wrong one, then you've lost out on a couple of nights booking. Last year, we experimented with 3 different influencers. The first one approached us. They had around 10,000 Instagram followers and good engagement from her audience. They got us about 10 followers and 0 bookings. The second one I approached, and she had 20,000 followers then when I approached her. She had 50,000 followers by the time she came and stayed, and she now has I think she's up to about 400,000 followers. She was brilliant. She posted 3 reels and 3 TikToks, posted on her stories, and filmed one of her other brand videos at the site and then tagged us. We got almost 100 new followers, 3 bookings from her. So it was well worth offering her a free a free 2-night break. The third influencer we also approached as I'd met her at a networking event. And while she was staying and posting on her stories, we actually got a 5-night booking from her stories. So it definitely does work. So I'm going to give you some tips of working with influencers. So firstly, like find one that aligns with your brand and has the same target audience as you. Ones we've approached have been far better than the ones that approached us. Offer them a free 2-night stay. You don't really need to pay them. So if they start expecting hundreds of pounds as well as a free stay, then they need to have millions of engaged followers. Look at the different platforms that they're on and make sure they're engaged followers and that they're your target audience. And by engaged followers, I mean, do they have 10,000 followers but only get like 1 or 2 likes or comments on a post? Or do they have, I don't know, 1,000 followers and they get like 50 likes, 150 comments? You've got to look at their profiles and their recent posts and do some investigatory work. You need to be careful of influencers that use bots. It is possible to pay like £20 and get 1,000 followers, and you can even pay for likes and comments. So if they've got a huge number of followers but no comments or very generic comments like emojis, then proceed with caution. I would say get it in writing what you expect from them. So detail like how many stories, how many posts and reels they'll do while they're staying. Some only like to post when they're home, so you may need to arrange what time of day and when they post. Provide them with a promo code so that they can share to their followers, which will help you track the bookings that come from them. But it also incentivizes their followers to book. So you might have an influencer called Katie, come create a promo code that's called like Katie10. And then every time somebody uses that code, it's come from that influencer. Maintain a relationship with them going forward by continuing to engage with their posts, and hopefully they'll share your content in the future. And then also don't forget to leverage their user-generated content. So share their stories to your stories and whatever post they do, and ask them if they will allow you to be a collaborator if they create a reel. Because if they've got 100,000 followers and you've got 2,000, then all those, because when you're a collaborator, all those views and likes, everything come to your platform or your page as well. So that's really useful being a collaborator. So user generated content doesn't just have to come from influencers. I like to treat every guest as a potential influencer or a potential for user-generated content. If you think about a typical couple that might come and stay, they're likely to have between 400 and 1,000 social media friends between them. Meta will see a post from a personal page as much more worthy content than one from a business page, so it's more likely to show that post to their friends and family. And from a potential customer's point of view, if they have seen a close friend or family member have stayed somewhere, they're about 92% more likely to trust recommendations from friends and family over any other form of advertising. Word of mouth influences between 20 to 50% of purchase decisions. Engagement rates from brand posts are typically lower, and the trust factor isn't as high. Studies suggest that direct brand advertising on social media results in a conversion rate that's often 10 to 15% lower than peer shared content. So, how do you encourage user generated content? And let's give you some tips. So, hand them Instagrammable content on a plate. And by that, I mean create beautiful spaces at your accommodation that they can't help but take photos of. We've got a giant photo frame in our woodland that says Tractors and Cream on it. So guests love having a photo taken there. And the fact that it has the business name on it means that even if guests don't tag your business, their friends will know the name. Other ideas could involve a personalised neon sign of your logo or a photo backdrop in a communal space. You could also run a photo competition to get guests to share their photos on their profile. And if they tag you, then they get entered into a competition to win a free night stay. So then you're getting all those really nice natural photos that people take, and then other people who are looking at your page can see people having a nice time at your property. Make it easy for guests to tag your location. So Facebook and Instagram have the ability for you to tag a business and tag a location. So make sure your business is on Google Maps so they can tag your location too. Pick a specific hashtag that's for your business. So part of the reason we chose the name Tractors and Cream was that we were fairly confident that no one else would have or choose to have a business called it, which means that when someone puts hashtag Tractors and Cream into any of the social media platforms, we know all the content will relate to our site. We also have a board in our communal kitchen that shows the social media handles on it and what to search for and the hashtag. So if your business name is more generic, and there's a few of them across the country or the world, then publicize your own unique hashtag. So we've got friends who have a site called 1 Acre Wood, but there's probably maybe more than 1 Acre Wood. So you might want to choose a hashtag that's like hashtag glamp at 1 Acre Wood and tell people to use it. You can also create a QR code that people can scan to find your page. There's also a cool gadget called Smurl. So this gives a live counter which guests love to use, and they can watch the counter go up. So as somebody new likes a page, the counter will go up. So having all these elements lets your guests know where to find you on social media, reminds them to tag you, making it easier for them to create content for you. So what other tech tools can help you with the social media? I'm going to let you know the apps and tools that I use on a daily basis to reduce my workload. So the first app that I literally could not live without is Canva. Canva lets you design social media posts in the right size for the platform. It's got an amazing suite of images and graphics, and I've created a video of just how I created this really super quick post. So essentially, you go on, you type in, I just typed in glamping because that relates to me, and they've got a load of different templates. So you kind of choose the template that you like. There's so many. And then you can upload all your professional photos on there so they're all ready to go. You literally can drag and drop them into the different frames, or you can create your own frame. Then you can even go and adjust that photo within that frame so that it's aligned how you want it. Then you can go on and adjust the text. You can change the font, and change the colours. You can have your brand colour set in there, and it pulls up the different colours that are within that photo to help it to make it align better. So yeah, it's super easy to use. And then let me get back to, yeah, so that is the finished design there. So like super quick. It was just a demonstration. So I use it a lot for YouTube thumbnails. Basically, anytime I need to design something, I do it in Canva. I have the pro version, which gives you access to all the templates and the graphics, which is £10.99 a month. I might have gone up now. I need to check that. But around about £11 a month. Then let's go on to UCut and CapCut. So UCut and CapCut are very similar. UCut I find slightly easier to use. So basically, it's just an app that you have. You add and create a new project, then it will go through your gallery that's on your phone. So then you just literally choose the few different videos that you want from your gallery. So you can upload up to 20 on the free version, and then it will pull them all in for you. And then you can literally decide, slide it along so you can make it shorter. You can speed it up as well. So if you go on to speed ramping, you can speed it up as much as you want or slow it down. You can scrub through to a bit quicker to see the different videos you've got on there. You can then add like picture in picture. So I think you go hit the picture in picture, you can add another one in there. I've just done this as a quick demonstration, but you can move it around. You can create stickers as well. You can also put emojis in there, text, like anything you could really want to do to create a short video, you can do it in UCut. I also use CapCut when I get to it. So it's great for vertical video and has some really good templates. So I use it a lot for the templates. So if you want a quick reel or a TikTok, I've done it again, a super quick demo here. So I just searched for a 5-photo template. So I just put 5 photos in there and it gives me all the different 5-photo templates. And then it will allow you to pick those 5 photos you want to use. So I just chose somewhere we went for afternoon tea recently. And then it will load all the effects for you and then just create the video for you because it's already got the settings in. So then you just export it. So this is the finished. Literally, I mean, that took minutes to do. It will put the CapCut watermark at the end, but you can crop that out. But there are loads of different templates that are only for the paid version. So you want to just, if you're using the free version, just have a look and don't choose the one with the diamonds on it because they're the paid for ones. Because I have done that before where I've created an entire video and then not realised it's a paid for one and then I don't want to pay for it. But you can get the pro version too, which includes it all, which is about £10 a month, I think. Let me go on now to, there we go, to another tool I use a lot, which is Meta Business Suite. So I use it for scheduling as it links your Facebook and Instagram. So you can schedule posts up to 29 days ahead. So it's great for batch creating content at the start of the month. But what happens if you have no idea what to post? So if you're into batch creating and scheduling, then use AI to help you. I put this very specific prompt into ChatGPT, which you're welcome to borrow. Act as an expert social media marketer to create a month's worth of engaging content for my glamping site, Tracks and Cream. Include a mix of personal stories, tips, behind the scenes, insights, motivational quotes, customer testimonials, interactive posts like polls and Q&As, educational posts like how-tos at industry news, and curiosity posts. Ensure the content is diverse, engaging, and tailored to inspire, educate, and connect with the audience. So that was my prompt. And then ChatGPT spat out a comprehensive set of instructions on what to do. And I really like some of the ideas. Asking ChatGPT just kind of helps that what do I post brain fog. And I've gone a bit deeper diving into ChatGPT prompts and kind of talk to it a lot about engagement and what kind of reels I can create to really engage the audience. And it's given me loads of different ideas. The thing is, it gives you some amazing ideas, but then you actually have to implement them. And sometimes the sets they're talking about and the different props you need make it a little bit unachievable, but it definitely gets the creative juices flowing. So like I really like this like curiosity post, guess this spot at Tracks and Cream, post a photo of a close up photo of a recognizable slightly hidden feature in a site that let's get that lets followers guess in the comments. So I never would have thought of that. So I'm going to try and implement a few of these fun ideas for social media. You can also get AI to create you videos, so it's getting better and better. I used a website called Picker Art, and I asked it to squish up our dome for an end of season reel. Um, so yeah, that got really good engagement because it's just something different. I mean, the more AI is around, the more we're going to see these things come up and it be a bit less novel, I guess. But with all the talk of AI, we also need to talk about the importance of being authentic. So if we pretend to be someone we aren't on social media or overpromise an experience that we can't deliver in real life, then it goes without saying our guests will see through it and won't be happy. So it's also really important to show your face on social media as much as you can. We all know that people buy from people. So the more you can get the human element into your post, the better. This also includes making sure there are people in your marketing photos. It's all well and good having beautiful pictures of staged bedrooms, but guests also want to be able to picture themselves in that situation. So borrow a family and use them in your marketing photos. These are marketing photos from my friend's treehouse, and I can completely imagine being that lady relaxing in bed while looking out at the forest. So, how many of you feel uncomfortable when you have to be filmed? When it comes to being on video, studies suggest that 50 to 70% of people feel uncomfortable or self conscious. And the discomfort tends to be even higher for video compared to photos because video captures motion, voice, expressions, and can heighten our self awareness. Among aspiring content creators, a report in 2022 highlighted that 54% delay starting a YouTube channel or social media due to nervousness about being on camera. So this is an awful picture, but my advice is, and you aren't going to like it, just start filming yourself. And the more you do it, the easier it gets. We've just released about our 450th YouTube video, and I am now completely used to being on camera. The first 50 videos, I'd overanalyze what I looked like and make sure I had makeup on. And now I honestly don't worry one bit about what I look like or sound like. It's all the more authentic and probably makes the people watching feel really good about themselves as they can't possibly look as bad as I do here. This is a screenshot from one of our recent YouTube videos when I had to pull a dead bunny out from under our geodome. And I had mud all over me. I had dead bunny on my face. It didn't bother me one bit that I was being filmed. So if I can go on camera looking like this, then all of you can definitely get in front of the camera and film yourselves. The beauty of video is that you can do multiple takes. And if you aren't happy, you can just do it again. So there's not really an excuse. So that's all I've got time for today. Thank you so much for your time. I would love to know if you have any questions. You can always get hold of me, vjones@resnexus.uk, or that is my mobile number. You can scan the QR code if you want to know any more about ResNexus UK. So yes, I'm going to stop sharing my screen now and invite you for any questions. If anybody has any questions, I have one from Shira, who is from Tree Tents. So tree tents are these incredible structures that hang in the trees. So it's lovely of you to send a message, Shira. So by Instagram description, do you mean post captions or page description? So I mean the caption that you put on the actual post. So so when we're talking about like people not using hashtags quite so much, I'm talking about actually the keywords that you can get into that caption essentially. So you can obviously put captions on your carousel posts. We haven't actually talked about carousel posts on your reels to try and get that as beefy as possible. But also your bio is super important. So that also needs keywords in your bio as well. But because you've only got 150 characters in that bio, you can't really do so much with it. So try and get as much as you can into those captions. What we're finding is they're prioritizing carousels just as much as they are reels these days. So carousels are keeping people on the platform because people are putting it quite wordy. So doing a photo with lots of words with a story on it and doing about 10 or so photos with stories on it, with information on it, like telling a story throughout that carousel. And that's getting just as much engagement as Reels are. And it's really boosting people's Instagram. So it's worth having a go at a carousel if you haven't tried it. I think that is all my questions. But as I say, you are more than welcome to um, email me vjones@resnexus.uk if you would like any further information about anything or if there's anything I can help with at all. And yes, we're hoping to get our next webinar to be OTA related. We're hoping to get Airbnb on a webinar, so that will be really exciting, and we can talk through industry trends and that sort of thing. But always, if there's any webinars that you'd really like us to do, if there's anything you want to see content wise you want to see and want to learn about, we would love to know, so please drop me a line about that. Right, thank you so much for your time, and hopefully we will see you next time. Take care.